in a while. It's been a while. I gotta tell you guys the truth. Okay. For those who are following me, I'm outdone with the inflation and the economy the way it is. I love doing a food channel. It's been affecting my food channel, the inflation. I go to the grocery store and my grocery bill is going up, skyrocketing. Everything is just going up, up, and it's affecting me putting out content the way I want to. So I am doing more of a budget. I was on a budget, you know, in today's economy. You just can't help but be on one unless you're just not paying attention, or if you just simply like being broke. But I have to sit down and reevaluate on pen and paper my budget all over again. So that's what I'm doing so that I can bring groceries home. It's gotten to the point that I really had to like buckle down and just get the essential stuff. Milk, bread, bottled water is what I have here at the house, because the township I live in, we really don't, well, some people probably do who were born and raised out here, but a lot of people out here don't drink water that comes through the township because it's too calcified. And anyway, so just for safety and health reasons, I buy my water bottle. So that's, you know, already a budget right there I had to adhere to. So when I buy bottled water, because some brands of bottled water are very expensive, so I kind of brought it down from what was my favorite was Dasani water to whatever the store brand bottled water that they have. And sometimes, depending on if there's a sale, I can go back up to the brand that I like. So that's, you know, I had to stick to the essential stuff to bring home. So what I'm doing now, I've decided just to do some of my cooking shows on some simple stuff, basic stuff, until things get a little bit better. On this channel, I'm going to stick to the real. This is not a channel where, you know, I'm not talking about any YouTubers at all, but there are some that kind of show a life that they really don't have. You're not going to get that here. So I'm just going to be honest and straightforward on what's going on, because I do believe there is a society of people out there that want that. They want you to be real, honest, because they can relate to that. I was watching TikTok. Actually, I was looking at Facebook, and some of TikTok's videos go on Facebook, because some of the people that have accounts, they'll put their video, some of their content on the Facebook, and they were a lot of people. There was like a whole collaboration of people who were getting on there talking about nothing but the inflation, and they were real. They weren't trying to be professional sounding or whatever. They were just straight real people talking about what's going on. One of my favorite contenters was a lady. She was just sitting there in her car, still in her scrubs, because I'm in healthcare too, so I know what she's kind of, you know, I'm relating to her. She was talking about she works, I don't even know if she was working 2 jobs, but she has 2 incomes coming in the house. She said her and her boyfriend works, and it's still not enough. She said she actually feels guilty when he and her, you know, after working so hard throughout the month, they don't even feel like there's enough money to go out to dinner on. And she's just, you know, and then it makes you kind of hate working, truly. You know, we're all trying to be God-fearing people. We don't want to be lazy. You know, he doesn't want us to be that way either. But you kind of feel like, what's the point? Why am I even working? What am I working for? I'm working just to pay these bills that are coming in, that a lot of them, I'm not saying you don't create the bills, but it's just not enough going on. The inflation is rising, and here's your income is not going up with it. It's always here, always like that. And it's a drag. It's a real drag. Um, and that can be the same case. Like I say, two people working in the house, one got a job and then the other person got a job. Two people, a couple. And like me, now there is no partner with me, where we are a couple and I'm making them out, and my significant other, husband, whatever, is making. It's just me. So here I am, two jobs, and here a couple, a husband and a wife here. So I have to keep up, you know, in order to even try to see a cash flow. Now, the couple in a household, they're not even seeing a cash flow. And I'm trying to create a cash flow outside of the two jobs. And it is hard. It is super duper hard. So I have assumed that you need 3 incomes coming in the house. And I'm not talking about for anything lavish. I'm talking about just to keep the ball rolling. Just to keep the utilities going, the mortgage or the rent going. And if you got a car payment, that and some others, you know, essential stuff. Just to keep that going, you need a 3rd income coming in. It's not enough to have 2 incomes coming in, because I'm doing that now. It's just that crazy. So even with this, I have to budget. And then, like I say, I love my food channel. I want to keep doing what I do, because why I do it is because I enjoy it. That really is a relaxing piece for me. Outside of editing my videos, which can be a chore. That's my ice machine, if you hear it. That can be a chore, just to edit videos. Anybody will tell you who has a channel, editing your videos after the fact, and sitting here in front of the camera is not the hard part. It's editing the videos. Editing is very time consuming. It's an actual job. And if it's not going out the way you want to, you might spend all day doing it, and you have to find time to do it, you know. And you may have a life doing something else too. And I do enjoy the content once it's all done and set up and whatever, but yeah, it's a chore. But that takes time, and in some cases take money, because you're not doing a lot of your content for free either. You have to have apps or programs on your computer that you may have to pay for monthly, sometime annually, just to help you put out good or better content. So anyway, but yeah, I'm doing this video because I just wanted to let those who thought I fell off the face of the earth know I'm still here. I'm just trying to find a better way to do this, so that I can continue to do this, because I do enjoy it. I said in a few of my videos, this is like therapy for me. I enjoy it. It's been a lot, like anybody else in this world. If you say that you haven't been through some hardships or some hard times in your life, you've just been living up under a rock. And so pretty much we're all in the same gravy boat on that one. We've all been through something. So you have to find some kind of outlet. I mean, whether that's therapy, with a person you're talking to one-on-one, and you paying X amount of dollars for, just for them, a stranger, to listen to your crap, or you find something to make you feel good, whether that's a walk in the park, or a walk in your backyard, or whether that's sitting at a table, going out to dinner around people, or cooking in your kitchen. You have to figure out what works for you. And right now, with the inflation affecting everybody, um, it's kind of hard to do some of the more lavish things that you really would like to do. Right now, I would love to go on a vacation. I am like, I want to say, well, this is 2023. I'm probably like 7, maybe 8 years behind in going on a vacation. I haven't been anywhere, and the last place I had gone to was Vegas. That was fun. I did enjoy it. I got a chance to see one of my favorite rock groups, but because I planned that one too down to a T, and I had the money at the time to do it. And while I was on vacation, I get what people saying, when you go on vacation, you don't want to be counting your money or counting your pennies. I was on a vacation like that once before too, where I was counting right down to my cab fare on the way back home to make sure I put that to the side. But no, that last time I went, which like I said, 8 years ago, I really had a good time, and it was none of that I had to worry about. I enjoyed myself. I truly enjoyed myself, and I had the money to do it. Now, 8 years ahead, no. Everything is pinching the pennies, and I am working toward getting things good. Like I say, I am almost I'm close to retirement. I'm closer now than I was, 10, 20 years ago. And now that's starting to scare me a little bit. So I'm trying to get things squared away, what I want to do when I retire. And I don't want to be one of those people who are living solely off their Social Security, because we've all said it. You know, when we've looked at our Social Security that we got perhaps coming, depending on when you want to retire, it probably is not even going to be enough for a person who's just living a frugal life. So a lot of us see ourselves probably still working, even if it's part-time, which still might be a blessing, working somewhere. And you know, then we have to factor in, are we going to be healthy to do that? Right now, I want to say, because I'm 55 years old, I'm already feeling the bumps and the bruises from life now. And you know, sometime I get up and it takes a minute for me to get out the bed. It takes for me to get moving in the morning. I almost have to get up like 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier than I usually should, just to get myself revving around. Matter of fact, that reminds me, I gotta drink my coffee. And my coffee helps keep me going too a little bit. I'm not drinking it like I used to. I used to drink coffee every day, but now I don't. But anyway, I did a video. It was a quick one, and that's what it was called too. Quick spaghetti dinner. And if you watch the video, I really threw it together. I didn't even have any commentary in it. I usually love doing commentary in my videos. Voiceovers, in other words. I didn't even do that. I just let the music go. What you saw was the obvious that was going on in the kitchen, and we pretty much ate through that. So, and now I'm not even, that's another thing, I'm not making big meals like I used to. What I had left over, I would take to the job, you know, to make up the difference. Ain't none of that happening. Even though that can be helpful when you are pinching pennies to make enough to last you through the week. Because I'm one of those girls who don't have a problem eating leftovers. So I'll do that at times, but it's just been, you know, like meat is expensive now. Always have been, but it's more expensive. They're tacking on like almost $5 more on a pack of raw meat. Almost it doesn't matter what it is. It used to be that chicken wings were the cheapest things you could get. Not anymore. Drumsticks used to be, but no. So, I'm not saying anything nobody is not familiar with. I'm just venting. Maybe that's what I'm doing, is venting. So that's it. What I'm going to put out a beef stew video, and why? Because that's what I got a taste for right now, and that's the next video I'm going to put out, so you'll get a chance to see that. I'm going to have that a little more detailed. Usually my videos are a little different. You don't always see me cutting up or my food and everything, and sometimes you will see us see our food channels like that, because it makes the editing a little easier to go through. Oh, hold on just a moment. Okay, just had to make sure my video was still going, because last time I put out a video, my camera had cut off, and I was just talking, and I didn't even know it had cut off. Yeah, so usually when I edit my videos, the food, or I should say the vegetables and the meat, may already be cut up and prepared out for you, and you'll see that. So you'll see what the ingredients are, but it makes it easier for editing as well when you do it like that. So sometimes us YouTubers or content what should I call us, video creators, sometimes you got to be really creative to get your content out. Yeah, I must have woke up really thirsty today. So that's what I'm thinking about. I also want to mention, I touched on it lightly, about my my retirement. That's another thing. Everybody may not be interested in this. If you're not close to retirement like I am, this means nothing to you. When I was in my 20s and my 30s, I thought retirement was so far away. It was not one time I was thinking about it. But I'm closer to that now. I mean, we're talking like 12 years close. That 10 of that 12 years is a decade. And that, I've seen my decades go by fast now that I'm sitting here and looking back on it. I'm like, man, that was just a decade ago, 10 years ago when I did that. It went by so quick. And now I don't have the time to let this decade plus 2 years on top of that go by like that. I have to really get my eggs in a row. And, you know, I'm looking at a lot of financial advisors and so forth, on what to do, what probably I should have did maybe 10-20 years ago, and that's kicking me in the butt too. But I can't focus on what I didn't do now, because I can't go back 10 to 20 years and fix that, but I sure wish I could. But yeah, I'm looking now where I am now financially and trying to prepare what I can, so I can have something with my Social Security. Because that's something I really, honestly, in my mind, I don't want to dip into when I get 62 or 65 or 67. I don't want to dip into that and start using it or applying for it. I really want to wait, let that be there for me. But I want to create, and I really started feeling this investment thing, something we all should really do. But when you're growing up, if your parents weren't on board with that, how can they teach you something that they weren't really, not necessarily not familiar with, but their parents didn't show them? So it's not really a passion. to show your children, this is what we should be doing now. This is what I want to prepare you for now at your young age. So this is already on your mind. So I didn't grow up around that. And a lot of us out here didn't. And that's not, that honestly is not a race or a color thing. That's really like a cultural thing. I mean, you run into people of all races that can sit down and say that as they're older. I'm running into a lot of Caucasian people who are living out their cars, who all they have is, because of their age, they are only collecting maybe $500 Social Security. And that's sad, a month. Can you imagine inside of 30 days you're trying to you're getting a check and it's only $500 and you gotta figure out what you can use in that month? You can't even afford an apartment or a associated, what they call that, excuse me, senior living place. Not under $500. No, what is that going to get you? The state would have to pitch in some kind of way, if you're eligible, and help you with that, to live. And a lot of people are deciding just to live in their cars. There is a huge society of people. All you got to do is just type it in on YouTube. It's sad, but at the same time, it is liberating, because you do see these people, they're making it. They're happy because they don't feel the stress of not being able to pay their rent, not being able to pay their utility bills that a lot of us probably take for granted. If you have maybe 2 or 3 people in your household who is able to pitch in and help you. I mean, a lot of people don't even have that, you know. And some of the younger people out here are on board on some sort of, I don't know what to call it, where they're going to find a way to, you know, hold on to their money, whether they're staying with a relative or whatever. And it's not a time to be selfish out here, but they're trying to figure it out too. And it's just kind of hard on everybody. But yeah, my heart reaches out to those people, and I myself, you know, just bearing my soul right now, I have honestly went down that road in my mind, saying, you know, let me look into this sort of lifestyle. Maybe this is something I may have to do up into the future. And not feel embarrassed about it. It is what it is. You know, any kind of way that you have to like stack your chips to get where you need to be. If I were to do something like this, you'll be watching my videos of me. If it gets to that point, I will keep you in tune. But you may have to do something like that in order to avoid making the payments that you're making now, so you can put that toward your investments, your retirement. So when you get there, you know, you look up and you say, okay, now I got this money. I can afford to do this and go back into the lifestyle that I once was. I've seen people do that. And I don't know a lot of these people, but I'm watching them on camera, actually videoing themselves, and they're going through it. They're going through it. And I'm not saying, too, you got to think about it. This got to mess with your emotional and your mental health as well, because you're going from what you were used to being normal with a roof over your head to a different type of roof over your head, a car roof over your head. It's you know, and it's, we should be having these conversations. We really should in today's society. We don't want to do it because some people are embarrassed to bare their soul, that this is what's going on, and we all want to walk around with this pretend sort of ideal that, hey, everything is great going for me, whatever. I remember this a guy that I was at a congregation meeting, and one of the brothers was like, he was saying, and it was just like it hit you when he said this. He said, all you have to think about is, here's a vision of a swan in a lake. He said, above the water, you see the swan is just gliding across in the water. His body, beautiful white feathers, just gliding across the water. It looked like he's just going so easily and gracefully. But underneath the water, he's doing this. He's paddling his heart out to get to the other side. And he said we could look at that as a metaphor for our lives. People on the outside look at you and look at what they see your lifestyle to be. And in some cases, a lot of times we're guilty of it too, trying to make our lifestyle look as though we're gliding so gracefully across the water. But underneath, if they were to dip their head underneath that water and look at your feet just paddling away, and that hit me so easily. It was something that you got right away when he said that. And that is how we all are. You know, we're what you see in that pond with the swan. We're paddling hard underneath. You don't see that. But that's what we're really doing to get and maintain what we have. And forget the people with the luxury. I'm talking about just everyday society people. We're paddling away to get and maintain what we have just to live. And it's freaking hard. It is so hard. I know I'm not the only one out here talking about it, and I'm glad I'm not. But you do still have some people that are very, very uncomfortable talking about money. They don't want to even have the conversation. They don't want to sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and write these things down in their home and say, look what we are blowing through. Their money is not intentional. And what I mean by that, it's not, here it is Friday, you get paid. Okay. It's a feeling we have when that paycheck hits our account, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. And don't play like you don't, because a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you don't know what that means your paycheck, once it's gone, the month may not even be out. Payday, the next payday may not even be here yet. And so now you're dwindling down to nothing, and you're waiting for that Friday again to show up. And that may be 2 weeks later for most people, not the next Friday. And you're waiting for that check to get here so you can go and do whatever the heck you were going to do with it. But if you make your money intentional, if you have debt that you should be paying off, I'm not talking about the light, gas, and water. That's going to be here. Okay. But if you have debt that you need to be paying off, whether it's the car, whether it's the student loan, whether it's the credit cards or personal loans, thank God those payday loan places are all burned to the ground. I hope so. I believe so. Sometimes now you see them creeping up through the internet. They have them online now. They're not an actual store anymore. And I was a real victim of that back in the day. A real victim. I think I'm reaching out to people who know what I'm talking about from that too. Hold up. Okay. So anyway, yeah, back to what I was speaking about, the payday loans. was a real big problem for a lot of us out here. A lot of us got roped into those, and it was super hard to get out of them because of the high, more than double interest rate that was on them. And I'm so glad those places are burned to the ground. Thank you, Obama, for that. Because a lot of those places were killing us, and we couldn't even afford to maintain what we were trying to maintain. You thinking in your mind, okay, I'm going to take out a loan so I can get back on track. You're forever in that debt to them. So thank goodness for those. But watch out for those payday loan places online too, because they try to creep up on your in your email or whatever, even in text messages on your phone, because everybody got these smartphones now. It's crazy, but watch out for that. Anyway, so I'm going to sign off with this, but I haven't dropped off the face of the earth, everybody. I had to just reevaluate how to keep my channel going, and I want to keep it going. A lot of times I'm not really concerned about building, only building content, but I'm not really concerned about having like a huge amount of followers, even though I welcome them, because what I do like to talk about is real stuff too, and what's going on with me. But my thing is, this is so much for therapy for me. You know, life hits you with knocks, emotional hurt, or things that have hurt your mental health. And you know, I like to reach out there and say this too. We all have mental health. We know we have physical health, emotional health. Somehow, I don't know why mental health is such a taboo. That's another thing we don't like to talk about, aside from not wanting to talk about money and have that conversation about money and how to maintain money properly. Mental health is another thing none of us like to talk about. That's so taboo, and it's a shame. It really is a shame that it's taboo, because we all have it. We all have that as well. That's part of our makeup. You can't get away from mental health no more than you can get away from physical health. A lot of us neglect that too. But yeah, we all have the mental health, and we should strive hard to maintain a good mental health and a good emotional health. Don't neglect any of that stuff, people. That is so important to do that. If someone is not making you feel good about yourself, and I think we should all reevaluate ourselves and our lives too. Sometimes you have to pull people out of your circle that are hurting you, and I don't necessarily mean physical. If they are emotionally damaging or mentally damaging you, then if you can't sit down and have a conversation as an adult with that person, then maybe you should consider backing away out of it. And I'm not telling anybody what to do on my channel. I'm just saying I've been through it, and sometimes that's perhaps the best thing to do. You can't make someone like you. You can't make someone love you. You have to first love yourself. Then you'll know what you're deserving of. You'll know how you should be treated. Because you want to treat yourself right. You want to treat yourself good. And that's not selfish. That's just you loving yourself. And you know, we're God's people. We want to treat the next person the way we want to treat ourselves. How often have we heard that? So, like I say, your mental health is important, just like anything else about you that makes you up. Alright. Okay, so my next video will be about my beef stew. I did that before. The video didn't come out right. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I was filming, and then my camera cut off. I had too many videos on my camera. It only held so much, and it only gave me so much to video or record. So okay guys, I'll be seeing you, and thanks a lot. Bye bye.